Deep in the heart of Transylvania, a short drive from Cluj-Napoca, lies a place where nature itself seems to have gone mad. It's a forest, but not just any forest. The locals call it Hoia-Baciu. Some, in hushed tones, call it the forest that kills. Step inside, and you'll immediately notice the trees. They don't grow upwards towards the sun like they should. Instead, they twist and spiral in grotesque, unnatural forms, as if they were caught in a silent, eternal scream. It's an unsettling sight, made even more so by the profound, unnatural silence. There are no birds singing here. No chirps, no calls. The air itself feels different, heavy, charged, almost electric. It's as if you're not just walking through a forest, but through a living, breathing entity that is watching your every move. The ground is often covered in a strange, thick moss that muffles your footsteps, adding to the eerie quiet. For centuries, local legends have spoken of strange disappearances and unsettling encounters within its boundaries. But it was in 1968 that the forest's secrets were truly thrust into the light. A biologist named Alexandru Sift, intrigued by the bizarre vegetation, ventured deep into the woods with his camera. He went in, expecting to document strange plants. But what he developed from his film rolls was far more disturbing. His photographs revealed things that shouldn't have been there. Ghostly floating orbs of light hanging in the air, spectral faces, peering from between the gnarled trunks, and most chillingly, a tall, shadowy figure, standing among the trees, casting no shadow of its own. Sift's photos opened the floodgates. Soon, others came, drawn by a mix of curiosity and dread, and they too came back with stories that defy rational explanation. Visitors to Hoia-Baciu consistently report the same terrifying phenomena. Bright, inexplicable lights that appear and vanish in an instant. The distinct sound of whispers, spoken in languages no one can identify, seemingly coming from all directions at once. And a host of physical symptoms. A sudden, overwhelming wave of nausea, intense dizziness, crippling anxiety, and the bizarre sensation of lost time. Imagine this: a tourist decides to take a short walk along one of the forest's winding paths. They feel like they've only been gone for 10, maybe 15 minutes. But when they emerge from the tree line and glance at their watch, they find that 5 hours have vanished. 5 hours completely unaccounted for. Panic sets in. They check their phone, their camera, trying to piece together the missing time, and that's when they find it. Flipping through their photos, they see a gallery of blurred, chaotic images, as if the camera was malfunctioning, all except for one perfectly clear, horrifying picture. A pale, distorted face with hollow eyes, staring directly malevolently into the lens. There's a well-known clearing within the forest, a perfect circle where nothing grows. Soil samples have been tested repeatedly, but no one can explain why this patch of earth remains barren. It's said that this circle is a gateway, a portal to another dimension, and the epicenter of the forest's paranormal activity. This is where many of the most intense encounters have occurred, where UFO sightings are most frequent, and where people feel the overwhelming sense of being watched most acutely. Local folklore is filled with cautionary tales. One of the most famous is that of a shepherd who, long ago, wandered into the forest with his flock of 200 sheep and was never seen again. No trace of him, or his animals, was ever found. Another story tells of a 5-year-old girl who vanished into the woods. A massive search was launched, but she was gone. Then, 5 years later, she reappeared, walking out of the same spot she had entered. She was wearing the same clothes, hadn't aged a day, and had no memory of the 5 years that had passed. The old-timers in the nearby villages will look you in the eye and give you a stark warning: never ever enter Hoia-Baciu at night. They believe that as the sun sets, the veil between our world and whatever resides in that forest grows thin. They say that if you dare to walk beneath those twisted branches after dark, you are no longer just a visitor. You are putting your fate into the hands of the forest itself. And it is the forest that decides whether you'll be allowed to leave, or if you'll become just another one of its dark, eternal whispers. Thanks for watching. If you're brave enough to want more stories from the world's most haunted places, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next one, if you make it back.